Immediately focused. So a fast serve down the line from Julius to start with. Got a bit unlucky off the net there, and Chris was able to put that one away.
Yeah, Chris will take that as a nice first point. Just a little bit fortunate. Ball touching the top of the net, which meant he got an easy put away on the next shot.
So Julius serving forehand serve from the backhand side. Fast serve across the diagonal, and then ran round to get his forehand in down the line. So he's quite a compact player, Tony. Playing close to the table, shorter strokes than Chris. Chris tends to go back a little bit more and play slightly longer strokes. So I wonder if that's going to be the pattern of the match.
Yeah, I think so, Colin. I think Julius will try to dominate the table, keep it as close as he can. But Chris is very comfortable away from the table, so he won't mind that. And we know that he can hit the ball incredibly hard from a distance away.
Yes, he can. He's been doing it this morning in practice. We've been watching him, very impressive. And there's a good example of it. So Julius thinking that Chris was a bit away from the table, but just a little step in, and then quick turn of the body, adding some elbow and wrist. Fantastic finish there from Chris. There he's taking it later. Well, 3-all, so no immediate advantage for either player. I'm so impressed with Julius that he just came pretty much at the last minute for the last chance, succeeded, qualified to alongside his friends that he was just going to watch, and now he's in the thick of it, and amazing that he's got through to the last 16.
An apology for Chris there. I'm not sure if that hit the top edge of his bat there. It's very full in here today, Colin.
Yeah, great crowd already, and we'll look for that to build even more during the afternoon, but certainly a good crowd starting here at 12:30. And they're getting right behind Chris, and Chris wants them behind him. Fantastic atmosphere here at the Alexandra Palace. Same every year, and it seems to build and build. Chris certainly means business here. Looks really, really focused, looks much more comfortable than he did yesterday when he was dropping games in the groups and in the early rounds. Seems like he's really tuned in to this sandpaper bat format. Lovely short return from Chris.
Yeah, he's playing much better, much stronger than we saw him yesterday, I think. That's the thing with these top players, Colin. They seem to get better and better as each round goes on.
Indeed. Next match on after this will be Gavin Rumgay. We've seen him training with Sherwin from Mobley Table Tennis Centre this morning. Again, looking very, very impressive. I think what's happening is that they're playing good, solid attacking shots and making fewer and fewer errors with them as the tournament gets going. So the pressure on the opponent just gradually increases throughout the tournament, and some people are going to fall by the wayside as a result. Again, Chris taking it later, so Julius able to return the ball, but the consistency's there.
Yeah, you could see there, couldn't you, Julius just a few inches away from the table, and Chris certainly a good few feet away from the table. Completely different styles, but both very attacking in their own way.
Yeah. And Chris making more of an attempt than Julius to get as much top spin as he can. Full straight.
That's a big forehand down the line there from Chris. Really fast shoulder rotation. Excellent shot. Watch this. Boom.
Beautiful follow through. Short serve. Happy on the backhand, Chris. He doesn't need to run rounds as much as some players.
No, he doesn't. Certainly, along with Andrew Bagley, probably the two strongest backhands in the event, I would think.
Indeed. That one's popped up and off the end. So, Esposo just a little bit too worried. There's not going to be too much spin on the serve. Maybe a little bit of movement in the flight. But Julius now clearly in two minds about what he's got to do. And Chris taking full advantage while he's mentally unsure. So one forehand from the backhand down the line, and the next rally runs around forehand across court. That one goes down the line again, wide into Julius's forehand.
Yeah, I think Chris seems to have noticed that when he gets Esposo to play a backhand from deep in that corner, he tends to only reach mid-table, and Chris is able to run round and hit the forehand very hard.
Yeah, good point, Tony. So Julius is going to have to get more depth on his backhand attacks.
Definitely.
So one more will give Chris the game. 14-5, first to 15. That's a beautiful backhand down the line. Chris is looking supremely confident, very excited by the way that Chris has started that match.
Yeah, it was classy, wasn't it, from Chris? I mean,
Chris to at least stay level at the beginning. You want to let the other person relax and start to think they're getting back into the game. You need to keep them under the cosh now.
It was an interesting change of tactic there from Julius, wasn't it? Just slowed the ball down, right down with the backhand, just sort of chop-blocked it back.
Yeah, it kind of came down the back of the ball to take the top spin off and maybe try and get a bit of backspin.
No, it's not. I agree.
And there's an error from Chris. Not happy to have made it. Needs to come back positive and relaxed. Make sure he doesn't start putting a few errors into his game. That'll give Julius hope. But Julius there, that's got to go down as an error. First shot after the serve, what we call the third ball attack. And he's done it twice. So 2 serves and 2 third ball errors.
Yeah, look at the depth on the returns from Chris, though, Colin. Very close to the baseline.
Yeah, shorter serve from Chris. And now he's getting away from the table. Chris is looking confident now to
double point ball, I think, Colin.
Yeah.
Double point ball, Mr. Doran.
So Chris is thinking, why leave it any longer? If he can get a 5-point lead, now's the time to do it. So double point ball, the white ball. If he wins the point on the serve, he gets 2 points instead of 1. Unique to this championships. And he was unlucky. Julius just in the top of the net. And Chris had got into that idea of going away from the table and defending a little bit, take the pace out of the ball, but it didn't work, of course, when the ball hit the net and slowed down. So, opportunity not taken, but a good solid performance on the shot afterwards. So back to the orange ball, 1 point at a time. And if I were Julius Esposo, I think I'd be using my double point ball pretty quickly myself.
Yeah, definitely. As you know, I've had a bit of a bee in my bonnet about that this year, Colin. I don't think they've been using it early enough when they're in trouble. They're getting too far behind before they're deciding to take that double ball opportunity.
Yeah, no point leaving it till you're miles behind. Good length on Chris's backhand. Chris is seeming to take his time. He's happy to roll the ball around from the back of the court. But again, the step in, and with Chris being so tall, yeah,
unbelievable.
Takes it early enough that he can step in and hit it much, much harder. Beautiful topspin stroke.
Oh, shame there for Julius. He played a lovely backhand wide to Chris's forehand, had him in a bit of trouble, but just mistimed his next, what was an easier opportunity.
Whoops. So the serve hit the back edge of the table there, so served off, and unlike tennis, you don't get a second chance, so that's 3-8.
Wow, still no double point ball.
There's a good forehand attack. Again, as soon as Chris played it a bit shorter, Julius pounced on it and was able to smash it wide without taking too much risk. Too much for Chris to deal with that time. So 8-4, 12 points gone. Chance for a little towel down.
Well, there we saw it again. The backhand did sit up a little bit short. Chris had the opportunity with the forehand, but for once he did miss it.
Yeah, there's a couple of errors this game. I think he might have just relaxed a bit. I feel like he's just taking it a little bit easy. Which is fine, but still you want to keep up some intensity and try and keep the scores as low as possible, not take any risk that you're going to drop the second game.
5-10.
But certainly Chris looks like he's got the measure of him now. And that's a brilliant forehand attack. You see how wide he was able to play that ball with power. Fantastic stroke.
Yeah, great angle, almost halfway up the table to get extra width. Terrific shot.
Flick return from Julius. And I think he's not quite sure what he needs to do to win a point.
Yeah, we've seen that sort of return of serve a lot, haven't we, where it's not that much power, but you get it so deep right into the corner, it does make players struggle with the third ball.
Yeah, Chris goes for a big one down the line. 6-12. 3 points away from a place in the quarterfinals.
6-13.
Another step towards the first prize of $20,000 US. Oh, what a great shot there. Chris just ran round, the ball was tucked up into his body, and at the last minute changed direction. Absolutely brilliant shot down the line. So that gives us match point to Chris Doran. Can he take it on the first opportunity? That's a great shot, he does so. 15-5, 15-6. Chris Doran wins and goes through to the quarterfinals of the World Championships of Ping Pong 2007.